A very good morning to one and all as we welcome you to UE Spect out here in St. Augustine at the campus of the University of the West Indies, where we're getting ready for the first of 5 matches, weather permitting that is, in the Under-19 series, the West Indies against the United States. Of course, we have the 2 captains here with us, plus the match manager. And to get things started, we have the toss.
Yes. Here's the ball. Heads.
So again, the news is that the West Indies have won the toss and they have decided to bowl first. And Samara, yet again, you keep winning these tosses here. Why you decide you're going to bowl first?
I'm bowling first because I thought that taking into consideration the weather and stuff, I think that we have a good bowling lineup. So I think we could restrict USA to a good total.
That's good. How about you personally? You just came out of that Under-19 series, the West Indies, the Under-15 series, really. So how are you feeling in terms of confidence?
Pretty confident. I played among some really good experienced players too. So, just to go out there and give it your best shot.
That's good. Well, all the best and hopefully things will go well.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we have with us here, of course, Anika. Anika, I'm not sure what you wanted to do if you had won the toss. Are you happy batting first?
Of course, we're happy with any decision. We're happy with batting first. If I won the toss, we would have bowled first, but that's totally fine. We're just going to adapt to these conditions, the weather conditions. We're going to keep it in mind. We're just going to put our best foot forward and take our batting innings strong.
What about your team? What is the strength of your team right now?
I'd say we're a pretty good bowling and batting team both, so I'm pretty confident in whatever the team steps out and whatever they show out here on the field. No matter what, I know it's going to be a great learning experience, and I'm really excited for this game.
Well, all the best.
Thank you.
Okay, well, there's the situation. The West Indies, they have won the toss, and they have asked the United States to take first knock. Thank you very much. Well, there you have the situation here. The United States, they will be batting first in this encounter. Murska Mark, thanking you so much for joining us. Of course, Shakira Salmon is here with us, and I'm happy to have her, the former West Indies standout. And Shakira, how are you feeling? It looks a good morning to do a little swing bowling.
Yeah, certainly overcast conditions here in Trinidad and Tobago. And West Indies, I'm sure, would have been happy to win the toss with some rain around, just in case the overflow does come into play. Should be a good day for Selena Ross, who we know is a swing bowler herself. St. Lucian's Selena Ross, who swings the ball back into the right-handed batters for her to go with the new ball in hand.
Well, it certainly is. These are fine conditions for them, and it certainly is. It certainly could be very interesting to see how these U.S. batters stand up to her and the other West Indians as well. We have the 2 umpires for today's game, just making sure that everything is A-OK. Jacqueline Williams, of course, out of Jamaica, and Maria Abbott out of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So Ross it is. A nice curl there. You could just see the ball curling in the air. She's getting the ball just to swing back a little bit. And no doubt, under these conditions, I think she will be relishing the opportunity to get the ball first up.
Yeah, certainly. If she does get the ball in the right areas, Selena Ross, she will be a handful for these USA right-handed batters. And it's a good start to settle the nerves for Ross.
And that's a good appeal there. Not out, says the umpire, but certainly living dangerously there. And they're going to get an overthrow as well, as there was nobody backing up. At least they couldn't get into position early enough. And they were able to get a couple leg byes. In fact, there were 3 of them when it was all said and done.
Yeah, lack of awareness on the part of Kanika Kassar, who should have been running around from mid-on to back at that throw that came from, looks to be Nijani Kamabach. She was not alert to it, ended up being 2 overthrows. Good alertness being shown by the USA batters though.
So Shingra is now at the non-strikers end, and that means that the lady coming on strike, of course, is Chetna Dagyadala. And stroking this one nicely, but won't get a run. And I suppose it's so important at this level that these young ladies get as much exposure as possible. And what is good to see is that quite a number of them just came out of that U15 tournament and are now with the under-19s.
Yeah, certainly a number of the USA players also.
Driving and missing, but they will sneak a by. So they're yet to get something off the bat, but it's 4 without loss so far.
And I was just pointing out that a number of these under-19 USA players do have T20 international experience, which would bode well for them in this bilateral series.
Yeah, a number of them played to the recent Youth World Cup, so they know, one or two of them know what it's like to play at this level. That's another good delivery. You could just see the curl in the air, and I'm sure the batters will have to be very aware of what she's trying to do, which is to maybe sneak in between bat and pad. That inward movement there, very pronounced from Ross.
Yeah, certainly she will be hoping to get one of these batters, perhaps the right-handed batter, LBW, or bull down with that booming swinger.
Yeah, she's again threatening the stumps all the time and really causing a few anxious moments there. So the first over comes to a close, and at the end of it, 4 without loss. The USA after being put in.
Yeah, excellent start by Selena Ross. I'm sure all of the nerves, whatever nerves she would have been feeling at the start of this game, are now gone because of that excellent over she sent down. She's put the ball in consistently good areas and asked questions of the batters either on the outside edge or the inside edge of the bat. It will be Jazara Claxton to bowl from the far end. MVP of the recently concluded Cricket West Indies Rising Stars on the 19 Championship. Got runs and got wickets, Claxton. She will come into this series very confident.
And again, they actually put, this is the good thing about having played a tournament before this, because most of these players here are coming in form. It's not like they performed 6 months ago and they're now getting a chance. They're actually performing, and out of those performances, here they are. And again, they're going to scamper an extra, a bye.
Yeah, certainly, and they will know these conditions in particular very well. Each of the teams in that West Indies on the 19 Women's Championship would have had a chance to play here at UE Spet in Trinidad and Tobago. Claxton herself would have led the Leewers team in that competition.
In the air a bit, but it's well placed because she placed it nicely away, and that will be the first boundary of the encounter, and nicely flicked off the legs there, not really trying to do too much, just allowed it to come onto her, and then she just kind of dismissed it off her legs and picked up a boundary.
Yeah, Digna, another one of those players with international experience at the highest level, should have just been involved in the qualifiers. Actually played the last game against Sri Lanka. What she did well there, she didn't try to go too square. Claxton just starting that ball too straight on that occasion.
Again, she's edging, and she's going to get a couple. She was only going to get one, though, this time, because it's nicely fielded by Dean down at third man. Not a bad delivery, though. Nice teaser outside the off stump. And she got the edge, but it was too far away from slip. Kamabachi could do nothing about it.
On late Selena Ross, Claxton swings the ball away from the right-handed batters, and that's what she would have been attempting to do 2 balls ago when she started it just too straight. It's good adjustment by Claxton.
Yeah, she's again, this time, that in-swinger coming back into the left-hander this time, and once again, the ball eluding the wicket-keeper, Sutherland, and it goes for another bye.
Yeah, we've seen a number of balls fall just short of Sutherland, and perhaps she needs to take a step forward. It's very difficult for wicket keepers to take the ball when it's not coming through around waist height. Just being given some encouragement by Nijani coming back to slip.
So it's in the air, but it might be out, and waiting for it down there at mid-off. The catch is nicely taken. Not the best delivery, but they all count, as we say. And that is the end of Shingra, as she goes caught at mid-off. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't think she got a run off the bat. She's been there. We had a couple of extras. Actually, she did flick the ball through mid-on to get through mid-wicket to get the boundary. So she goes for 8. And it's now 11 for 1.
Yeah, very soft dismissal. But I'm sure Claxton will be happy. You take them however they come. Sometimes you bowl a very good delivery and you're not able to take a wicket, and then you send down a full toss and it results in that. So first wicket for West Indies, and it goes off the bowling of Jazara Claxton. Disha Dingra gone for 8. Good start for West Indies.
It certainly is, and there's nothing like taking early wickets. When you get a couple early wickets, it just settles everybody, and it just gives them the opportunity to start to operate. Here is the captain, Anika Kolan.
Vice captain of the USA senior team, Kolan. So full of experience. Made her T20 debut back in 2021. And she's played 22 T20 internationals to date.
She gets a beauty that just pitches and leaves her. And Sutherland holding on for dear life there, as she would have been happy if that had taken the edge and had come through to her at that height. End of the over, 11 for 1 at the end of it.
Yeah, brilliant way to finish her first over, Claxton. And that's exactly what I was talking about. Sometimes you send down a Jaffer and it results in absolutely nothing.
And then you bowl a full toss and you get a wicket.
And so it goes.
Yep. It's the nature of the game sometimes. And that's why I tell people, you can't be too high or too low, because cricket is, as they say, the greatest leveler. Because, like I said, you could bowl a peach of a delivery and you get nothing for it. And then you bowl a rank long hop and the batsman helps you out. It's a good delivery. That one is coming back a little bit, trying to get it to come the other way. And just Pragyadala just being tucked up a little bit. So this is going to be an interesting battle. Can she hit the outside edge? Here, going away from the left-hander.
And she does have a slip in waiting and a very heavily packed offside field for that ball that swings away from the left-handed batter.
Having to reach for that one, but looking up at the umpire as if to suggest that was wide enough to be called a wide, but the umpire was having none of it. And so I'm sure you must have been happy to see the West Indies tail wag this morning. 71 runs for the last pair, for that last wicket.
Yeah, certainly. I'm sure every West Indian is proud of the fight the West Indies men are putting on in the UK.
And that's well played. That's going to run close to the boundary. There is cover out there at third man. And so just a single. So Pragyadala inches on by 1. Is she now off the mark, because she had 7 deliveries and just getting off the mark. But that's not all that bad, because it certainly allows her to take a look at what the bowlers are doing. But she has had her problems, especially with the ball coming back, at least going across her from Ross from this end. Now this is the matchup I think Ross relishes, where she could bring the ball back into the right-hander. And this time is Kolan. And that's another beautiful delivery, but it's well played. And a little bit late, but she played it well enough in the end and eked out a quick single.
Yeah, she just seems to be caught on the crease on a few occasions, Anika Colan. Or perhaps she prefers to play the ball off her back foot, but well pitched at delivery. She played it late, but eventually she was able to keep it out and importantly get to the next end.
So 13 for 1 now as they try to consolidate a bit after the loss of that early wicket, but they need to keep ticking over. Driving, and the catch is taken. They appear going, and yes, she is. So she was driving at that one outside the off stump, and this was the challenge because the ball is curling away from the left-hander. She makes a big, expansive drive, and look at it again.
Yeah, pitched it, and it swings away very late from the left-handed batter. And a good diving take by Katrina Sutherland behind the stump. She had been struggling all morning, so that will give her lots of confidence. First wicket for Selena Ross. Second for West Indies. United States now 13 for 2.
And that was a good delivery again from Ross. Inviting the drive and just the away movement doing the rest, hitting the outer portion of the bat. And a nice smart catch taken there by Sutherland. So the West Indies, obviously, when I spoke with the captain, Shamara, she was saying that is, she backs the bowlers because she feels the strength of this team is the bowling, and that's the reason why she opted to bowl first, because she feels that her bowlers, if there's anything in the wicket at all, her bowlers could take advantage of it.
It seems to be the strength of any West Indies team of recent. But yeah, good decision at the toss to bowl first. This is also a chasing ground. I noticed all of the games that played here in our under-19 championship were won by the team chasing.
That's another good delivery, but that one probably pitching right up in the crease or almost in line with the stumps, and it goes through. That ends the over. A very buoyed West Indies will change ends. It's 13 for 2.
Yeah, tidy start by West Indies. They'll be very happy with the return so far. Already gotten 2 wickets, just 3 overs completed. USA on the back foot, requiring captain Anika Colan to lead this recovery.
And Aditya Chadusana is the new batter. And that's another good delivery. They're going to have to hurry, and they do. And not much Ramnath could do about that. But they were certainly travelling after just pushing it. She didn't try to overhit it. Just good cricket. And this brings the new batter, Chudasama.
Yeah, 18-year-old Chudasama from New Jersey. She has a job to do with her captain.
Tell you what though, with that little bit of movement that they're getting, and I would be happy if she employed a second slip, if only just for the power play overs, because I just feel that there's enough in the wicket to suggest that it could hit the edge on a couple of occasions, and you don't want to be. We already had one go past first slip, and you want to take every opportunity to get wickets and encourage the bowlers to bowl the line.
Yeah, not a bad option, but perhaps Ramnath is thinking, where could she take that fielder from?
Oh, there it goes again. That's going to be 4 wides. Yep. So that's 5 to the total there. Not the best delivery. And again, you could see her trying to line it up and maybe hope it would swing. And this time it really came out wrong.
Yeah, just searching for a magic delivery on that occasion, Claxton. And each time she started the ball a bit too straight, she's had to pay. First she was clipped through the onside. This time it goes past The wicketkeeper settling and into the boundary. She has to stay patient, Claxton.
And that's well played again. And it was one thing, these American they're not afraid to drive. They love the opportunity to put bat to ball, especially outside the off stump. And as a bowler, you relish that because you want to put it there, and you probably push it a little wider and see if they'll chase it. And there she is again trying. That is going to be a no ball. That actually the height it dropped under the waist. I thought it was high enough that they could have signaled a no ball, but the umpires checked and decided that.
Yeah, quite fortunate to get away with that one, Claxton. Not given a no ball by the umpires, and also not put away by Chuda Sama.
Mm-hmm. And but this is going to be a wide starting. And you can see she's trying to change it. She's trying to probably bring that one back into the right-hander and probably overcompensating. It's starting it badly, and it stayed leg side.
Yeah, it does come down to being patient, though. And it's something that Claxton will learn upon this journey. A very bright journey she has ahead of her, I think. It's something she will learn, especially in the shorter format of the game. You build pressure by bowling dots.
Yeah, it always helps when you can consistently, find that line, that length that forces the batters to respect what you're doing. And even if they want to attack, they're hesitant to do so because of the consistency of that line. They think for a moment of another single there, but it was well played in the end, but couldn't get it away. At the end of the over, 19 for 2 at the end of over number 4.
It will be interesting to see just how long Captain Ranaf continues with these two opening bowlers. They have gotten the wickets for West Indies. You wonder if she's going to continue with both of them throughout the power play. Selena Ross, she's just gone for 5 runs from her 2 overs. So you can understand continuing with her. But there are lots of bowling options in this West Indies team.
Yeah, it probably makes sense that she gives them, an opportunity to probably pick up a couple more wickets if possible. And that's a big booming in swinger, but well played in the end. Again, the captain, Kolan, showing good technique there. She allowed the ball to do its work, and then she just kind of opened the face in a response state and placed it nicely.
Yeah, but there was a bit of ooh and ahs because of the position she got herself in. Almost got that left foot too far across, and had that ball swung back a bit more, she could have been in trouble, Kolan. But well played in the end. Immediately the slip is out.
And that's one instruction. Now might have been pitching outside leg, touching down close to that leg stump, but another leg by. Signal by the umpires here. And this morning, Shakira, the rain was threatening to disrupt proceedings, but I'm happy to say the sun is out. Maybe not in all its glory just yet, but it's certainly brighter than it was an hour ago. Well played again, and but again, good fielding, good field placing, creating pressure, and that's part of what the fielders have to do, just to keep the batsmen honest, or the batters honest. And at 23 for 2 in over number 5, West Indies will be happy. That's well played. At least it could be out. Yes, it is. And once again, it is Claxton. She was the one who completed the fielding a short while ago. And would you believe it? This time, this one went in the air And she took a nice catch, just running back a couple pieces, trying to go over the top, no doubt. And paying the price there through the summer.
Yes, tried to hit that one over mid-on. It continued with the angle across the right-handed batter, took the outer half of the bat, and it was an easy catch in the end for Claxton. It's also good field placement, good bowling, good execution, but also good field placement by Captain Ramnath, resulting in that wicket. After that drive that resulted in 2 runs, she decided to plug the gap and put the extra fielder in the cover region on the offside. So excellent stuff by this West Indies unit so far. Let's look at the angle of the bat. They're straight to hit that one a lot straighter. That one did not swing back into the right-handed batter. Instead takes the outer half of the bat. 23 for 3 now, USA. And in further trouble.
Yes, and Ritu Singh has arrived at the crease. With the team in some trouble. And they initially thought about it, then they hesitated, but because the ball, it was so well placed that they were able to get it past the field and a comfortable single in the end. Jean was trying her best there. So immediately she is off the mark. Ritu Singh. Anika Kolan is on 4. Again, just allowing the ball enough time in the air. The length is such a good length because she's keeping the ball up to the batters. It's the end of another impressive over from Ross. She has 2 for 8 now, and at the end of over number 5, it's 24 for 3.
Yeah, excellent figures for Selena Ross in particular. Just 8 runs from 3 overs. Claxton has 1 for 12 from her 2. And it does look as though Claxton will be replaced now. Kanika Kassar into the attack.
So I'm just going to leave you for the moment. Billy is going to come and join him. It's a Billy Furlong. And for the next couple of overs or so.
Kassar was excellent with the ball in hand for Trinidad and Tobago in the recently concluded under 19 Women's Championship. She's more a hit the deck type of bowler, Kassar. She'll show a lot more aggression than we've seen from the opening bowlers for West Indies so far. But she's also able to swing the ball away from right-handed batters. There is no slip, instead there's a short mid-wicket. Immediately it's back up a length. Turned off the hit by Ritu Singh. Easy single in the end. Say good morning to Billy Furlong.
Good morning to you, Shakira, and good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and good morning to wherever you are across the Caribbean. Good morning to our viewers as well in the United States. This one outside the off stump for Kassar, starting, coming on, bowling change from the southern end here at the Sir Frank Worrell Cricket Ground. Kanika Kassar is coming on to replace Jazara Claxton, opening the bowling from the southern end. USA in the somewhat uncomfortable position of 3 wickets down for 26 runs. Short pitch ball. Singh just looking across at both umpires, just wondering. That was over the height of the shoulders, over the height of the head. A loopy bounce there, Shakira.
Yeah, it did seem pretty high. I'm surprised not to see the umpires outstretch hands.
Play and a miss. Shortish outside the off stump, but not enough width there. Trying to make room for the cut shot there is Singh. Not getting any bat on it.
And her initial movement was leg side as well, trying to create the room, Ritu Singh.
The better line delivery there, coming back in, cramping her for room, just pitching on her about the off stump and just jogging back. We've seen her do that or bowl that type of delivery very often in the tournament. She's getting a lot of inward movement either off the seam or in the air, somewhat cramping batters. Short and pulled away to mid-wicket. A little bit of a fumble by Brianna Haricharan there at mid-wicket. Allows the second run. Good looking pull shot there. And that's the end of the power play. 28 for 3 after 6 overs. 3 overs from Selena Ross, picking up 2 very early wickets, as well as Jazara Claxton picking up 1 wicket in her spell. So 3 overs each. 2 overs rather from Selena Ross. 3 overs from Selena Ross, in fact. Claxton, just the 2 overs from her. She'll be looking forward to coming back down at the end of the innings to finish off her spell. And Kanika Kassar coming in, just 1 short delivery. She liked bowling that short pitch delivery during the regional under 19 tournament and picked up a few wickets digging it in short and getting the batters, particularly to Zeta James. Couple short deliveries into hand, did manage to prize out the wicket of James. And again trying it here in that first over. Bit of a spongy bounce on this pitch here at Sir Frank Worrell ground. Much of the wicket has been covered due to the inclement weather. And again another shower this morning. So just a little bit of moisture in the wicket still, some moisture in the atmosphere as well. It's a bit overcast here in St. Augustine, and it's going to be bowling change from the northern end. The captain Samara Ramnath bringing herself on.
Yeah, something she did all tournament long, Ramnath, during that under 19 championship. As soon as the power play was over, she brought herself into the attack. The spinner Ramnath.
Excellent, typical start from her. Just very irritating line outside that off stump, on or about the off stump from her. She does have a number of variations, including 1 leg break delivery. She tends to toss in there at times when required. Keeping a bit low there. The captain Kolan has some difficulty there. Luckily it was outside the off stump.
Yeah, just trying to run that one through the vacant third region. She has to be careful that the ball does not turn back in to her and cramp her for room.
This one just peeling off the outside edge. Getting some drift there. Ramnath comes off the outside edge. Claxton does the cleaning up there at backward point, running to third, short third.
Scheme is funny, isn't it? She tried to run 2 deliveries down to the third region. This time she tries to turn it through the leg side and it goes to that third region.
This is why the game keeps us looking at it so interestingly. Pushed back along the pitch there. She does get some drift. At times she's come on in that last over of the power play as well. But of course at this level with the West Indies under 19 as opposed to the country, you know, she has a lot more confidence in her bowlers. This one just striking the pad, heading down the leg side. So it comes on for the 7th over of the innings. It's 29 for 3. And Ritu Singh is on 4. Captain and vice captain out there. Anika Kolan, she's on 6. So a lot would rest on their shoulders.
Attempts an aggressive stroke to finish the over. Just 1 from it. Good start by Captain Ramnath. USA 29 for 3 after 7.
The sun just disappearing behind one of those darkened clouds. A rebuilding job. The USC team will have to try and weather the storm, losing 3 early wickets. Just 29 runs on the board. There is some depth to this batting. There's some more experience to come. Disha Dhingra going early for 8. Another experienced batter for the USA team at the top of the order.
Yeah, but certainly USA will be happy is these 2 batters at the crease. And because they can play shots like this when given the opportunity.
They're just helped through the onside, that full delivery angle down the leg side. Russ does the cleaning up, doesn't get to the boundary. And one of the issues here with the rain, the overnight rain, the outfield has just thickened up a bit. So it's really going to have to put that extra effort for the ball to make it all the way to the boundary, as the ball has just lost some of that gloss off of it into the 8 over, slowing up there in the outfield.
Yeah, certainly batters and fielders are going to have to be cognizant of the fact that the ball is not going to race away to the boundary. Batters will have to run quickly between the wickets. Fielders will have to give full chase.
Again, tucked into the onside. Kassar has been known to get that ball to angle in. Ross does the fielding. He's going to allow 2. And Kassar usually gets that ball just to jog back to the right-hand batter. And a couple of them walked into the onside. There are 2 people out in the deep there, patrolling the boundary. One in the fine leg position, another one a deep backward square. There's a mid-wicket and a mid-on. Fielders on the onside. There is a third in Dean on the boundary on the offside. Backward point cover, extra cover and mid-off on the offside. It's a good delivery. Pitched up. Comes off that inner portion of the bat with that inward movement Kassar gets. Sutherland just warming to the task behind the stump. She's had some difficult deliveries to deal with. Some keeping quite low, some getting in between bat and pad. Couple of byes in the inning so far. Just pushing back to Kassar. Thought of a single, but not enough pace on the ball to get past the bowler.
Yeah, she certainly didn't get it wide enough of Kassar to get that single. But it's good intent from the 2 batters. They're looking to rotate the strike, not just hanging around. It's just as important to score runs as it is to spend time at the crease.
This one hoist into the onside. There is that fielder out a deep backward square. She's not going to get around to it, falling short of her. Worked in the air. Half chance there for a moment, but was away. Looks like Ramtahal out there in the deep. Wasn't going to get to her, and a chance for a couple of runs there. So the captain looking to accelerate, particularly with that ball just angling into the leg side.
Yeah, just off the boundary a lot there. It looks to be Brianna Haricharan, in fact. Ball going over her head slightly.
Trying to correct the line there. Kassar pushes it a little too wide outside the off stump. Interestingly enough, with that angle that she's getting, sometimes she would bowl from the northern end with that breeze coming over her left shoulder to just aid that inward movement. She's going to bowl from the southern end with the captain preferred at the northern end. This one play and a miss outside the off stump. End of the over. It's 3 for 36 after 8.
Yeah, 8 from that second Kassar over. Good over for USA in the context of things.
Very much so. The captain and the vice captain out there looking to accelerate, trying to add some impetus to the innings. Be mindful of the fact that there is some weather around.
And speaking of captain and vice captain, it's always interesting to read the stories of these youngsters. Both Ritu Singh and Anika Kolan started playing at the age of 9. Kolan discovered her love for the game whilst knocking out in the garage with her parents and her brother.
The over for Bram. Not just short and pulled into the onside. Calendar is out at the deep at long on. Just a 1 run though. Good work out there in the deep, getting to it quickly, getting that throw in.
Perhaps should have been 2 runs though.
It seemed that there was enough time to come back for 2. Perhaps the skipper Kolan might be a little more confident against Ramnath. We'll see. Goes across the line, pitch outside the off stump, a play and a miss. It goes through Sutherland. It's going to go for a couple byes again. They're going to come for that second 1 run now. Two runs to the total. Not much turn there on offer from Ramnath. Sutherland just getting up a bit too early. A little bit of a two-pace surface here, not everything bouncing as consistently as the batter or the wicketkeeper would like. Into the onside, and again, play and a miss. It gets past Sutherland again and it goes down. They're going to come for two. Russ is out there coming around. Two byes signaled.
Yeah, it has been a tough start for Sutherland. Players will need to keep encouraging her. It's not the easiest surface to keep on. As you just mentioned, it is a two-pace surface with variable bounce.
That takes the total upward to 41 now. So runs starting to come much more easily now. In stark contrast to Samara Ramnath, how she's been all tournament, recently completed the under-19 tournament in Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago placing third in the competition. And the Guyana team, eventual winners. And there we see there that back of the arm one. She tends to toss it in for that fourth delivery of the over. Not wanting to give away too much of the captain's secrets. She has been known to toss that leg break in. This time not getting it quite in the area or on the line that she would have intended. And worked into the onside. Just one run. Takes the captain up to 13.
I certainly like the fact that she's brave enough to bowl it at this level also, though around enough.
Pulls it into the onside there. Batters, both of them seem quite comfortable to work things into the onside. That wrist movement of them favors that shot. 9 overs gone, 43 for 3. It's just both batters just asking for a bit of refreshments, 1 over before the drinks break. Umpire Maria Abbott at that northern end just allows the batters a couple drinks. Partnership is building here between the two.
I'll use this opportunity to tell you a bit about Vice Captain Ritu Singh, 18-year-old all-rounder from Missouri, bowls off breaks as well. And she trained quite often with her dad at a baseball and softball indoor facility. Of course, cricket is still a fairly new sport in US. And she would have played in the men's league at age 9. Played hardball cricket with men at age 12. So very passionate about her game. Ritu Singh would have been putting in lots of hard work from a tender age. Well supported by her dad, who said he loves the opportunity to train her because it's an opportunity for him to spend time with his daughter. Two well-experienced batters at the crease, leading the recovery for this USA side. Like Johnny Kamabachi into the attack, another all-spinner. Kamabachi would have been a part of that West Indies under-19 team that played in that World Cup last year. Inaugural under-19 Women's World Cup held in South Africa. Barbadian Johnny Kamabachi.
Yeah, she's fast becoming a very seasoned player at this level. Has a number of good performances to back her. Very confident. Picked up quite a few wickets this season as well. So she'll be coming into this game on a high.
This one lofted over the infield. And good running by the two batters. Gets there eventually with a dive for Ritu Singh.
A good aggressive running there. Played uppishly into the offside. Coming around there, Jazara Claxton in the deep. Getting a very good throw indeed to the non-strikers end. And Kamabachi collecting it nice and cleanly there, trying to effect the run out. Singh was diving into her crease there. Good aggressive running. Good cricket all around. Nice flighted delivery this time. Some variations there. Kolan, she's on 15 from 22 deliveries. Still looking to accelerate. Perhaps trying to bring up that 50 run before the drinks break. This one up in the air, full toss. It's not going to make it to the fielder. They're going to get a single. Claxton coming around from mid-off to intercept. It was played into the onside uppishly. There is a long on, but it was too deep for Callender, who's out there to get in. The ball just dropping inside the 25-yard ring. Total up to 47 now.
Another one, Hoyt through the favored leg side region.
Seems to be her preferred shot to the off spinners, just to stay low, tuck it into the onside with the spin. This one short cut away, making some room, getting it out to deep backward point on the boundary. Bryce out there. It's going to be one run. It's going to be the completion of the 10 overs in the game thus far between the West Indies under 19 and the USA under 19 women's team. The USA are 49 with the loss of 3 wickets coming up to the drink break. And that's the score here. We'll return after the break.
Thank you very much. As we welcome you back here, the players are back into position. 49 for 3 at the interval. 10 overs completed. And, of course, Shakira, we're halfway there in terms of the innings. And you have to say, the American responded well to the fact that, despite the fact that they've lost those 3 wickets, but they're pushing on.
Yeah, they were 28 for 3. As we see, Brianna Haricharan, they were a spinner, being introduced into the attack for the first time. So a bit of a recovery by captain and vice captain of this USA team. Anika Colan up to 17 top scorers so far in this innings.
So Harry Charan it is from the northern end. Short delivery and just giving the batters just enough time to stay on that back foot there.
Yeah, Haricharan is not a big spinner of the ball by any means. Quite often you'll see the ball coming out the front of her arm as well.
Thought for a moment there she was trying to go aerial, but then she had to kind of fetch it, had to reach for it, and but played it well in the end there. So Ritu Singh's done well since arriving at the crease. She's on 9. The skipper Kolan is on 18. She's back on strike now.
Yeah, that one's certainly too full for Ritu Singh to get under.
Again, good anticipation there. She presented the face of the bat, although she turned it and looking to run it down to third man. I thought there might have been a single there, but Singh wasn't as alert. Captain did offer it to her. This one is in the air. This could be interesting, but again, it's dropping way too close there. She should have really had a better attempt at that calendar, but she seemed to misjudge it entirely because she never really went after it. It was in the air for a long time, and you look at how close it fell, almost just about less than a meter in front of her. Again, but this time it's much further away from her, and she might think they're targeting her now.
Never moved fast enough for Sabi Calendar coming off the long arm boundary. So then she had to do too much work to get there. Perhaps would have needed a dive in the end.
And that's a full toss that is dealt with. It's a no ball, so we're going to have a free hit. And way high, you could see her trying to flick it out there. And that's a beauty with the wrist spinners. You know that in the US they don't allow youths. I think she might just qualify, but they have what they call the curveball in baseball. They don't even allow under 15 kids to throw that to pitch that. That's a big hit. This could be interesting. Again, it's dropping just short. And a chance here to run out. That was a free hit. So, but it was dropping short, and they're going to get extras as well. So the West Indies really have to tighten up here. This is not the first time that we've seen the ball eluding either the bowler or the fielder, and then they get the extra run as a result of that. Remember, it was the free hit, and so the catch, whether it was taken or not, wouldn't have counted, but it's the ball that is the return that caused all the angst, I would imagine, because it just eluded everybody. At the end of it, 59 for 3 after 11.
Yeah, at the end of an expensive over by Haricharan, cost her 10 runs. And no ball was involved, and the 50 came up for USA in that over, so they're 59 for 3 at the end of 11. Kamabach to continue from the southern end.
Again, the spinners are just a little bit on the short side, and when they try to pitch it up, they're over pitching. Here's another short one that is somehow going to elude everybody. No, she drops it. She thought for a moment that she had it. You could see her looking for the ball as she actually overran the ball and then had to reach back to try to get to it. So she made almost a full circle. Watch at it. She goes running in the air. She ran beyond the ball and then had to dive back, almost back to her right to try to catch it. And by that time, it just fell in front of her. And that's another no ball because I haven't seen a signal from the umpire, but that ball was very high indeed. However, she did play it. So look at the height of this one. She played that almost over her shoulder.
Yeah, that certainly should have been another no ball. And again, the West Indians getting away with that.
This one is hit hard, and again, just dropping short. So trying to mix up her deliveries here. Cumberbatch. But these two are going along quite nicely. Now it's 62 for 3. And playing some good cricketing shots and certainly putting pressure on the West Indian fielders most of the time, especially with the running between the wickets. Captain was always eager to try to squeeze a single. There's another one fetching it from outside the off stump and placing it down to wide long on for another single. So they rotate in the strike quite nicely, these two. And at the end of over number 12, it's 64 for 3.
And captain and vice captain of the USA team showing all their experience. 37 T20 internationals between these two.
Singh an all-rounder, showing her capabilities with the bat here now. And
Yeah, they would have both featured in the recently concluded T20 qualifiers.
some food for thought here now for the West Indies. Can they, how do they remove one of these two, or at least stem the run flow?
Yeah, they are going to attempt to do that through a bowling change. Erin Dean replaces Brianna Haricharan. Haricharan just given the one over which cost her 10 runs. Erin Dean, captain of the Barbados on the 19th side.
I watched her play a lovely little innings down at Diego Martin when they defeated Trinidad and Tobago. They lost a number of their. Well, they did have a good opening. One opener actually survived and played a good hand, but then Dean came when the other wicket fell, and she basically shut the door on Trinidad and Tobago. Here's another almighty swing that results in a single. Not exactly where she intended it to go.
Yeah, Dean no more for her bowling, the off spinner. She will give the ball generous flight, and if there's any spin on offer, she will extract it. A bit slower than Ramnath.
This one is in the air again. This could be out, and it's a good running catch. Very well judged indeed in the end. Running back there is Claxton and taking another smart catch.
Yeah, not the easiest catch to take. It's always difficult when you have to run back. She kept her eyes on it all the way, Claxton. Well tossed up by Erin Dean, eventually being a full toss. And Nika Colan could not get it far enough from Claxton. And she stayed calm and composed. Claxton takes her second catch of the inning so far. Finally, West Indies on the 19s are able to break the partnership. And its captain, Anika Colan, dismissed for 22. USA 66 for 4.
Which is a big breakthrough, and we were just discussing where the West Indies find a breakthrough, because these two were humming along quite nicely and threatening to really put on a big score. She made a movement forward. The ball just seemed to dip on her, so she had to kind of try to get under it, and in doing so it didn't come off the middle of the bat, and she kind of spooned it. And good smart running catch at mid-off. Isani Vagela is out there now.
One right-handed batter replaces the nets.
It's a little bit of turn. They're not big spin just yet for Dean, but she don't need that all the time. Sometimes all you need is just enough to put a little doubt in the batter's mind. You can see it's slow turn and another comfortable single. So she's immediately off the mark.
Look at another all-rounder in this USA team.
Again, pitching up once again. Singh trying to get out to it. Almost yorked herself there. So Dean again, and you know, do they play a lot of cricket in Barbados? I mean, these under 19 players. I'm supposed to play schools cricket, but there's another one that is in the air, and this one is going to go for 6. In fact, it drops right in front of us, and it goes into the covers just in front of the fence here at due respect. For a moment, Calendar thought she had a chance, and then from the moment I saw her looking up, I realized it didn't have much room behind her, and once she's still staring at the ball, it meant it had gone all the way. The end of the over, but it's a big 6 to end it, 73 for 4.
Yeah, good hit by Ritu Singh, and you saw that high bat lift a few times throughout this innings. This time she's given the length she was waiting on and just enough room because she stays leg side of the ball so that she can free her arms through it, and she takes on a Sabi Calendar at long on and clears her quite easily. So 9 runs and a wicket from Dean's first over.
Did you realize the cameraman was kind of bricks him because he wasn't sure where the ball was going, but it was coming straight at him. He was ready to run.
Yeah, we don't want our cameraman to get injured, do we?
So they continue here. A little adjustment in the field. The person out in the deep seemed to be loitering out there, but she's coming back in now, just to the inside the circle. In fact, they're bringing her further in to probably try to cut off that single. And they will get it anyway because that ball just hit in the bottom of the bat. And we see the return of Kanika Kassar. Probably didn't bowl as well as she would have hoped. In fact, in the latter stages of her spell, she started to hit the line a little bit more consistently. She was probably a little too much leg side early on, and she was too full. And this is more like her because she tends to hit it down, and that's a catch as it's put down. Well. She had it in a grasp and just couldn't stay with it as the ball was in the air for a long time, and she seemed to settle under it. And Kamabachi looks like out there, and she couldn't hold on to it in the end.
Yeah, it is Nijani Kamabachi's second catch she's put down in the innings so far. The first one a lot more difficult. That one was a simple chance.
It's in the air again, but this one is over the cover region. So things are starting to happen now, as I suppose they realize that the overs are ticking away, and they probably would like to get up to 100, maybe past 100 if possible.
Yeah, the projected score is 114 at this stage. What will be important is how long Ritu Singh stays at the crease.
Again, driving hard and getting it through. A little bit of a misfield there, and it's getting close to the boundary. They won't get there though. They're able to just overhaul it. Claxton a little bit careless there.
Sloppy from the West Indian fielders. In the last few minutes, we saw a drop catch by Nijani Kamabach, one of the better fielders in this West Indies side, and now a misfield from Claxton, who's been good all day up to this point.
That's well played. Again, Claxton is called into action, but she's much better this time. I suppose normal service has resumed. Good return also. So the sun has left us a little bit. It's nice and cool. And I don't mind that because it was beginning to make hot under this tent here. And that's a powerful hit. But again, She stuck out that boot there, Kassar, and took all the pace out of it. She didn't stop it cleanly, but she certainly prevented at least a single. Who knows? It could have gone past for even more. At the end of the over, 80 for 4 now after 14. So again, the Americans put into bat and striving here, 5.71 and over, looking to probably up that to 6 or 7 and over, so they could put some pressure on the West Indies.
Yeah, certainly they'll be looking to get up to 120 USA. The score we didn't see chased in that under 19 championship. So Ramnath brings herself back into the attack. So just 1 over for Dean as well, even though she got the important wicket of Captain Anika Kolan.
Yes, the West Indies ringing the changes here. We've got 7 bowlers used already. More runs, at least another single.
Keeping it ticking, the USA batters.
Yeah, good rotation of strike. They're always on the lookout for runs. And this one is swinging as a loud appeal for an LBW. Might have been going down leg and maybe a little bit of turn as well.
Yeah, good decision by the umpire. I think clearly heading down the leg side.
This one is further down leg, and another single. So they're not afraid to hit and run. Seems like they want to score off every ball.
It's exactly what they should be looking to do at this stage. Score off as many balls as possible and capitalize on the bad deliveries. And they haven't gotten any bad deliveries by my count from Ramnath. She's been very economical so far.
That almost had a chance there at mid-wicket, but that ball flew past her in a hurry. And again, good feeling out in the deep. They're getting to the ball quickly, Calendar, and limiting them to just the 1 run. At the end of it, 84 for 4 now with 5 to go. So Shakira will take a little breather, probably go and stretch her legs. I don't know if she's going to enroll in a class at UE, but she'll probably take a walk by the registration building just to see what it's like in there. So 84 for 4. Vagela is on 5. 28 it is to Singh. She's batted well. Just taking her chances. I mean, she's been riding her luck, but she's going. She understands what is required. And again, right on target there. This time pitching up. She tends to want to bang the ball in at times. But on that occasion, she was right up in the block hole. Kassar. There's a nice breeze is now blowing across the ground. Kassar again push it out, and that one again is dropping just in front of the fielder. And once more, they're not able to really come up with those half chances, because that would have needed a little step into and maybe completing a low catch in the end there. Claxton just backing away instead of advancing. Kassar goes short again. Dean doing the fielding down here, and making sure she gets the return in quickly. She's not the biggest of individuals, but big in heart. Again, it goes aerial. This could be another catch, and this is a much better effort here. Good running catch once more, almost similar to the one she took down at this end. And that is a nice running catch. And that will be the end of Singh on this occasion. She goes to 29, and it's 86 for 5.
Excellent running catch there from Jazara Claxton at mid-off. And an important catch as well in the 16th over of the innings, as Ritu Singh was really looking to get going, and she got going, got to 29 off of her 32 deliveries, and she was just looking to take that strike rate of hers over 100. So important catch there, particularly as well. You've seen a couple fumbles in the outfield from the West Indies under 19. So it was good to get one of those catches in the kitty and seize upon a very important wicket for the West Indies under 19. So 5 wickets down now, and the over's running out for the USA team.
Certainly a much better effort, and but I'm sure it's just a concentration thing. You always have to remember too that a lot of these young ladies are, and there it is again, good running effort. They are certainly, while they've been playing, a lot of them playing here in Trinidad and Tobago in recent, the last week or so, 2 weeks. And it's still a question of making a step up to West Indies colours. You're playing for your national team. That is one step up. Then you have to dig deeper now and concentrate harder in West Indian colours. Kazi, good fielding once again as the West Indies have tightened up now, putting the pressure on Bryce, doing very well in the covers. That ends the over, and at the end of the over, 86 for 5 now, 16 completed.
So all in all, Kanika Kasade picking up a wicket in her final over, conceding 20 runs. She had a couple deliveries that went down the leg side. She came on first change after Jazara Claxton started from the southern end. And Kasa, who would normally open the bowling for the Trinidad and Tobago team, coming on first change here. And she would have been very happy to pick up at least one wicket there in her spell of 4 overs. It's going to be Ramnath to continue. Hadad there at mid-wicket. She's been in the firing line of the bowling of the off-spin of Ramnath. She is at mid-wicket. And quite a few deliveries being swatted out to her position, both to the left and right of her. One passed her in the air. Couldn't get around to it. But she's very much in the firing line.
I think this is important, you know, for the West Indies to really try to keep things very tight now. Don't allow them to get too many boundaries, first of all. And if you can limit them to just singles, and even if you could cut off a few of those singles, would help, because it keeps pressure building all the time.
10 dots in the spell of the captain Ramnath. She's none for 10 runs in her 4th over. Just conceding 10 runs. This one
There's
pulled
another
again.
one. Yep.
Bryce out in the deep mid-wicket. Powerful throw to the non-striker's end. Afia Kazi, the new batter, she's off the mark.
Vengahela is the one that's discovery now on strike. This could be interesting. If she hit, she was out. But she needed a direct hit there, and put it in a big dive.
You just pushed out the extra cover there. Harry Charan coming in, one arm, underarm through. Yeah, and she would have been struggling had that hit. One stump to aim at. Again, worked into the onside uppishly over the head of Haddad. 2 runs in the end. Played out to Bryce at the deep mid-wicket. A lot of runs coming in that area. Most of the runs off of Ramnath coming in that area. And just dragging the length back. Another dot ball there. Bring Ramnath's spell 4 overs for 13 runs. Another miserly spell from her. Takes the score to 91 for 5. USA.
Yeah, which is a good show on the part of the West Indies. Of course, had they taken a couple of those catches, it could have been a totally different scenario. But as I said, that's water under the bridge. You deal with what is ahead of you. And they have 3 overs that they need to really put the clamps on, because they know they're going to be swinging. And swinging for the fences, if you want to call it that. Claxton is coming back into the attack now.
Yeah, Claxton 2 overs, 1 for 12. She was definitely always going to come back to finish off the innings. Selena Ross, meanwhile, has 1 over left. She has 2 for 8. So she should bowl the 19th over from the northern end. Claxton will finish up the innings on the 20th over. That is the planning of the captain, Ramnath.
Again, you can see her trying to push it into that leg stump, and maybe he's trying to get some movement, some away movement, pushing it too far and conceding a wide plus the run. So things moving up nicely here. Should be up to 93 now for 5. Ball down. Good delivery. Again, that's the line she was aiming for, and the length as well, because she knew that Kazi was trying to swing everything. And this time she missed, and she was bowled neck and crop, as they say.
Getting some shape on that delivery, just clipping the off stump, pitching on about middle and off, moving away from a swinging bat of Kazi. Loses her off stump. Of course, with that wicket now, 6 for 93, and a second wicket to Jazara Claxton. So an opportunity here with the fall of that wicket to put some additional pressure on the lower order of the USA team. It's running out of balls in this inning so far. We've had 20 extras conceded, 7 byes, 11 wides. It's been an up and down day behind the stumps. Couple deliveries keeping low, angle down the leg side, off the pad, into the turf. Tough conditions out there.
A stifled appeal there, but Shah, Pooja Shah is the new batter.
Yeah, that one shaping back. Good shout there. Seemed to pitch in line and just move back into the batter, Pooja Shah. Facing her first delivery. It's difficult for batters to come in the lower order at this stage of the innings to try and get going.
That's another good shot. That one will go all the way. Will it? It gets close to the boundary. No, it won't. It's actually slowed up after pitching. And Shah gets 2.
Yeah, Brianna has been out there in the deep, behind square.
So another single as they try to squeeze as many runs as they possibly can. That one hitting the under edge of the bat. So they're 4 away from the 100. That's another good delivery, but it's very well played in the end. A nice forceful drive to end another over.
So Shah and Isani here trying to amass as much runs as possible these final 3 or 4 overs of the innings. Isani's on 11, Shah on 3. Have a look at the bowling figures there. 2 wickets apiece for the opening bowlers of Ross and Claxton, each having an over left. Ramnad none for 13 in her 4. And Kassar 1 for 20. Just a 1 over from Harry Chan. And Dean did pick up a crucial wicket, that of the skipper Kolan for 22. It's going to be Russ to finish off, bowling the 19th over. Seems as though the strength of the USA batters is just to work as much deliveries with that powerful wrist into the onside. And the bulk of their scoring from any pitch map would be no surprise to find a lot of it coming on the onside.
Because a lot of times they're finding those gaps on the onside because while they're boundary riders, there's acres of space out there. So all they have to do is be that mid-wicket fielder and they're in the money.
Single squeezed out. Claxton on the offside there, sliding around. A very lush, don't want to say heavy outfield, but with the rains around, has thickened up. Not all the shots to the boundary have made it. Shashi's on 3.
That's well played again, and another couple for them. And, this time, as opposed to trying to go on the onside, playing that one on merit, and playing it through the outside. It was in the air for a long while, but they don't mind at this stage. It's just trying to make good contact and running.
Yeah, there is some breeze around. Perhaps you may be hearing it in our microphones. So that one just holding up in the air. Slower delivery gone wrong.
Yeah, that started wide and it kept going wide on pitching.
You're lucky for that one not to be called a no ball as well. It's landing outside of the white line.
Again, you can see her trying to angle the ball back in, but she's probably starting it a little too far outside the off-stump. And that is probably as a result of the fact that most of the batters tend to swing with the tide. So she's asking them to come outside the off-stump and try to fetch it out there. This time it keeps a little bit low.
It's been a very much a up and down day for the wicketkeeper Sutherland behind the stumps. A number of deliveries there landing just in front of her. This two-pace surface here. Very difficult for wicketkeepers, very difficult for the batters as well.
In the air, and a good catch taken there. Another brilliant effort indeed. And this one was going to her left. This one was going away from her. And somehow Claxton found a way and came up with another blinder.
Yeah, another excellent catch there by Claxton. The line is outside the off stump, pushed away with the left hand bowling of Selena Ross. And so that angle across the right hand bat of Shah takes the outside edge. There was a lot of work still left to be done by Claxton, having to move around quite sharply to her left with a ball that was going even further away from her. And she managed to make the ground up, got it in, and an excellent catch there. And another wicket falls. The 100 is up, 101. And 7 wickets down now. Just one delivery to come in the over so far. So a bit of a comeback here from the West Indies under-19 team. Pulling a few wickets back. Interestingly, they've kept fielders in the ring. And that paying dividends with them managing to take 2 catches. Both catches in fact taken by Claxton, one at mid-off and the other at backward point.
It's another close one, trying to get at it as quickly as possible, but Mandavan not able to get away. So that completes the over. It's 101 for 7 at the end of 19, and that completes Ross's effort with the ball, and she has 3 for 12 from her 4 overs.
Excellent stuff from Selena Ross, initially opening the bowling, getting that ball to come back in, bowling from the northern end. The wind assisting her to get that in drift to the right-handers. And she's nagged 3 wickets now in the back end of the innings, getting those deliveries to just angle across the right-hander and asking them to go after it. And able to pick up another wicket.
And here is another one, and that's they're falling now. A lot of activity going here, and that is the wicket there of Vahela. And Vahela goes for, is it 11 she made? She was trying her best, 13. She was trying her best to swing across the line once again and pay the ultimate price.
It's a good effort there from Isani Vagela. In the end, they're going for 13 runs. So she did manage to push the ball around into the outfield, did take her chances in the air. But Claxton coming back and snagging another wicket. And she's been excellent in these 2 overs that she's come back in here, hitting that off stump with regularity now. Pitching on middle and off and getting the ball just a hint away. And claiming 2 off stumps. So she, as well as Ross, now have 3 wickets apiece. The 2 opening bowlers for the West Indies women.
So we have the new batter, Amadi. And that's a no ball. Well. You could just hear the peel. And just as they really started to go up, the umpire stretched out that arm as if trying to stop a truck or something, and an indication that the bowler transgressed. And that is a free hit.
The USA team losing those early wickets. They were 3 for 49 at the drinks break. 103 for 8 now. In the 9 overs bowled subsequent to that. So both even pace before the drinks break and after the drinks break. They'll try to see if they can get this up to 110 runs.
Again, they're going to run on the misfield. The patient leg by, say, but it just struck the pad on the way through.
Sunderland has been in the wars behind the stumps A lot of deliveries, as we mentioned. Pitching just in front of her, very difficult for the wicket keepers. That time coming off the pad, making it even more difficult. But she did manage to stop it. Another one there, just pitching in front of her. Good take by the wicketkeeper. Can never be easy. Ball pitching in the surface in front of you.
Amadi, the left-hander, is anxious to try to get on with things, but not getting anything to hit just yet. That's another peach of a delivery that came back at her on pitching, but it kept low as well. So a real double jeopardy here for her. Movement off the wicket, but then variable bunks. And that one really just shoot it along the ground. Another bye, another extra. 25 in all now. And that is going to be signaled a while. I think the wicketkeeper was, I'm not sure if she was aware that the batter had not just snuck down the wicket, she was almost running down the wicket.
See the umpire just changing her call, did she? That one angle down the leg side seemed to brush the pad of Madhavan. Initially signal wide, and the umpire just crossing her arms, indicating she may have changed the decision there, umpire Williams.
So this is good from the West Indies. They're not allowing the batters to do too much, so that completes the 20 overs at 106 for 8 after 20 overs. Ritu Singh 29, 22 to Kolan, 13 to Vahela, and Selena Ross 3 for 12. The pick of the bowlers for the West Indies. Claxton also bowled well, and she picked up 3 wickets as well. So she had 3 for 20 from her 4 overs. And certainly an encouraging performance from the West Indian bowlers. And you would think if they're able to really just tighten up in a few areas, who knows what they will do. But this is the first game. Remember, there are 5 of them. So I'm almost certain that they'll be able to do some more. 106 for 8 at the end of 20 overs. And that is the target for the West Indies, 107. And we'll get to their reply when we come back. Welcome back here to the UE Spec, where the West Indies are getting ready to start their reply as they look to get to 107 for a victory. And immediately you see that the West Indies have the two batters out there. Calendar is going to take first strike. She no doubt would want to get on with things. As I welcome back Shakira, and no doubt Shakira, you had a chance to chat with the girls. How are they feeling?
Well, I didn't have a chance.
Oh, you didn't get a chance to chat with them? I
had a chance to chat
with the senior
with the
players.
senior players. I wasn't able to get close to the under-19s for good reasons. We want them focused on this chase. Yeah, I'm sure they'll be confident. It was a pretty good display in the field, and they'll think that they can chase these runs, especially if they're off to a good start to Asabi Calendar and Samara Ramnath.
And Madhavan pitches on line, first delivery. Mahi Madhavan. She just has the one slip, which is kind of standard. Most of these captains are very deliberate with their field placings. They like to plug gaps as much as they possibly can. That's well played. That's a glorious shot. And that's going to be 4 runs. That sped off the face of the bat and raced through extra cover for 4 runs.
Yeah, what a way to get off the mark for Calendar. That was just certainly boost her confidence. Well pitched at delivery by Madhavan. Exquisitely driven along the covers.
The only thing that spoiled that was that Chetna made an attempt to stop it.
And she ran. Pulls her length back immediately, Madhavan.
Just understanding what is required. You just pitched up one and you got drilled through extra cover. You don't want to go there again. The line was the same, more or less, but this time she was a little bit shorter.
Yeah, you do expect Madhavan to continue to pitch the ball up outside Austin with this field set. There is a deep third.
And a slip. And speaking of that deep third, she called into action now. Running around there is Amadi. And they will come back for the second. She lost the bat in the process. And but you get 2 runs, taking the score up to 6 now without loss.
Yeah, good use of the wrist by Asabi Calendar. She played that one very late to get it to the left of the diving fielder at backward point. So good confident start by Calendar. And she did seem to grow in confidence as that under-19 championship went on.
I suppose that this is. I mean, you could probably speak to this too. When you're now starting, things are so different to what you're accustomed to. So it takes some people a little while longer than others to adapt and acclimatize to the demands of the level at which they're playing, and some people play an age group or 2 up. So by the time they get to the highest level, everything is normal for them because they've been in that environment before. But not everybody has that advantage. This one it's bowled. Well, I thought it came off the under edge of the bat, but it clipped the base of the stump. And I just feel she might have gotten a touch onto that as well and dragged it on. And so she would have to go for 5 unless there was a run short Calendar, because clearly they went back for 2 runs when she cut to third man, but it's registered as 5, so I think there might be a run short. She did pull it on. She dragged it onto the stumps. And how unfortunate it was. 5 for 1.
Yeah, a bit risky on that occasion. Once more, Calendar, it eventually took the inside half of the bat and onto the off stump. Unfortunately for Calendar, who seemed confident, especially with the drives, and she has to go back for
5.
Looks like 5.
Yep, 5 for 1.
And you're right in saying it means then that there was a short run and perhaps we missed it.
So not the ideal situation for the West Indies. However, Niall Cumberbatch is at the crease, joining her captain, Najani Cumberbatch.
Yeah, another Barbadian, Najani Cumberbatch, studying in the UK at St. Bede's College. Yeah, you were just talking about players playing a level above, and it takes me back to the question you asked me during the first innings about how much cricket the Barbadian players get to play. And there's no domestic women's cricket in Barbados, but these girls are allowed to play in the second division men's competition. So it's quite similar to playing a level up, because they're competing every weekend, either in T20, 40-over cricket, or two-day cricket against men, big men in Barbados.
So that ought to help build confidence for some of them. It's obviously it might take a while to enjoy success, but it's all the same. It's a great opportunity. So, this is Chudasana, who is into the attack. And the Ramnat is off the mark quickly. She might get a second if she hurries.
Yeah, USA opting to start with spin, the off spin of Chudasama.
So again, both teams kind of mirroring each other to some degree, although the West Indies had 2 quicks to start in their power play overs, but they did resort to their spinners quite early. And that's a peach of a delivery. That one just had her reaching for it.
Yeah, well flighted by Chudasama and drawing Samara Ramnath forward, beating her on the outside half of the bat. Remember, it is a new ball she's bowling with, so you don't expect her to generate too much turn. It's not impossible though.
No.
I've seen bowlers do it before. But generally, the ball just runs on, drifts away from the right-handed batters.
A quick drive and a quick single again, and that's the thing with Ramnath. Ramnath is a real busybody, and she has to be careful because she is very quick between wickets, and sometimes her teammates are not as astute in judging singles, and it could cause some problems for them if they're not on the same page.
Added to that, I think this is the first time that these two will ever be batting together, so it will take some time for them to get to know each other as well. Najani is a very good runner between the wickets though. She's normally quite alert to quick singles. She responded well on that occasion.
Yeah, and I always say it's such a learning curve for them because they, because it's like a new experience for some of them in West Indies colours. You wanted to stifle the appeal, but that was clearly beaten leg. You want to do well. I always tell people that nobody once comes out and say, I'm not going to do well today. The whole plan is they dream about this at night. They go through the game, they play their innings or how they're going to do in the field, what have you. And then it's just a question now of executing. That's very well played again, giving herself a little bit of room and stroking it into the covers to get off the mark.
And a good quick single.
Yep, to end
to
the
end
over.
the second
8 for
over.
1 at the end of over number 2. So again, it's and like I said, this is such a great opportunity for somebody because I could think of a number of players who didn't have this experience of playing for West Indies U-19's or U-17's or what have you. Even though they're going on to play for the senior team, it's almost like if they left school and then the next option for them was to play for the West Indies or play for the national team and then play for the West Indies.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, many of the West Indies senior ladies wouldn't have had this opportunity.
Yep.
There was never a West Indies under 19 team.
Did you ever
Before
play
last year.
U-19's?
I did not. In fact, I played under 23 for Barbados, but I played West Indies seniors immediately out of that.
Mm. Yes, it is. It is a funny, but it's a great opportunity for them. And you just hope that they take advantage of it. That's a good delivery, touching down just outside the off stump, asking Cumberbatch to come out there and play.
Yeah, and they've taken the slip out for this second over now, USA. The slip fielder has gone to a cover point and really ringing that offside field.
And this one is hit hard and just dropped short, but luckily it took a nice hop there, and she's able to just knock it down there, Chazzy. That could so easily have hit and kicked on and go past her, but she just got enough hand on it to take most of the pace off of it. One more, 10 for 1 now. We're in over number 3. Target is 107. Nice cool conditions here at UE Spec. And that's another good shot. They're going to have to hurry, and they do. And a nice flow of the bat. Good contact again. Both batters look confident when they drive the ball. And the thing is, you can see both of them playing through the line of the ball a lot.
Yeah, certainly the guy we just saw on screen, new head coach of this West Indies on 19 team, Robert Samuels.
Here's again the opportunity, and this is what I think she hit it, and if she did, she's out. Well. She hit the ball, hit it hard, and a brilliant bit of fielding, a good pickup and a return. She had one stump to aim at, and she hit. And look at the drive. She went racing over there, had the throw, and the throw clipped the bail on the way through. So she goes for 2, and 11 for 2 now, the West Indies.
Yeah, I was just about to say head coach Robert Samuels would be happy with the intent by both batters and the running between the wickets. He loves his players to play freely and with aggression, but he will be disappointed that Cumberbatch has been dismissed via the run-out route. But it's down to excellent fielding. You felt the run was on. They went for the run immediately, but it was a good bit of work by the fielder running to her left at sharp mid-wicket, picked it up and got back to her feet very quickly to take the one stump out. So good bit of work by this American side on the back of 2 very good saves in the offside.
Yeah, limiting the fielders, the batters to 1 run, because had that ball gone through, then Ramnath might have been still on strike. Instead, Cumberbatch had to face, but I was just about, she hit the ball so hard, and that's the thing, at this age group there, from the time you hit it, you want to run, because you feel it deserves a run. But sometimes and that's the experience, you could temper, that anxiety, because not every time you hit the ball hard means you're going to be rewarded for it. And this time there's a little more patience, and even then she had to do more work than the one before. But again, the bat, learning from that experience, decided against trying to take the quick run there with Kajela lurking there.
Yeah, Isani Vakela is at sharp mid-wicket.
Here she is again called into action. So that completes the over at the end of 3. It's 11 for 2.
I'm sure USA will be pretty happy with the start. They've gotten 2 wickets, those of Asabi Canada and Nijani Cumberbatch. Putting West Indies, they've put West Indies on 19 ladies on the back foot. Of course, Captain Samara Ramnath is still at the crease. Jazara Claxton, the left-handed batter, has joined her.
Claxton did well with the ball. She picked up 3 wickets, so I'm sure she would want to see if she could contribute something with the bat. She had 3 for 20 from her 4 overs. And now she gets a chance to put in a final round performance by making another contribution with the bat.
Yeah, remember she was MVP of that West Indies Rising Stars on the 19 Women's Championship. It's because she put in very good performances with both bat and ball. She will have to face up the off spin of Chadu Sama. And what she'll want to do is stay straight for as long as possible, especially at the start of her innings.
Kept a little bit low, but she kept her eyes on it.
And she does.
Chudasama not really trying to turn it much, but she's trying to line them up.
Yeah, she is targeting the stumps to the Sama. Exactly what Coach Hilton Ring would have been asking of her.
Well played. That one takes a little bit of an awkward bounce, so they should come back for a second run. And asking Shingra to chase it. But again, another good shot. Just giving a little bit of width there, and quickly she pounces on it. There is the West Indies dressing room. A little bit pensive right now, but I'm sure they'll be jumping if a couple boundaries are struck. And this is a big swing and a miss. Not taken cleanly by the wicketkeeper, so a bye. But you could just see, look at where the head is.
That one actually spun quite a bit.
Probably hit the bowler's boot mark or something there.
She really tossed that one up to the Sama. Yeah, definitely hitting one of the foot marks. Also the left-hander's off stump.
And there she's again, bang on target, not giving the batters much hitting room right now. When you lose a couple of early wickets, you don't want to take too many risks at this time. And that's very well played. That one will go through. May not get to the boundary. I don't think it has the legs to get there. The outfield is pretty heavy. But they'll settle for two deserving runs.
Yeah, she did two things brilliantly there, Samara Ranaf. She quickly picked up the length of the ball and adjusted onto the back foot, but then she also picked the gap to perfection, resulting in 2 runs.
Again, she thinking of a single, but good anticipation there, coming from behind the stumps, the captain, Kolan, to deny them that opportunity. 15 for 2 after 4. And just by way of comparison, at the end of 4 overs, the USA were 19 for 2. So the West Indies not too far off. Nothing they can't make up, but they certainly would want to try to keep wickets intact and put together a good partnership here.
Did see the captain and vice captain of USA being required to lead that recovery phase for USA. It's the same thing here for West Indies, captain and vice captain at the crease. Samara Ramnath and Jazara Claxton. Will be a change in bowling. Isani Bagela into the attack. She replaces Madhavan, forgive me, who took the first wicket, that of Asabi Calendar. Return medium pace of Bagela.
Kept a little bit low, but starting on that leg stump. So again, you really can't help but be amazed of how big an opportunity this is for youngsters, because they learn so much. You kind of grow up fast, when you're touring and when you're and stuff like that, because you're away from home, so you don't have your parents, or your brothers and sisters So you have new friends because your teammates are, that's like family now. And that's another delivery that kept a little bit low. She was trying to pull away to hit it through the offside. And has to be careful because not for the first time we see the ball just keeping a trifle low here from Vagela. She's not the tallest of bowlers either. Again, right on target. Not much room there for them for any big shots. The Americans trying to squeeze the West Indies here.
Yeah, and it's a pretty well balanced field as well. There is a sharp mid wicket, a position we didn't see filled by the West Indians in the first couple overs. There was a sharp square for West Indies instead.
Now she will get some runs. She should get a couple and comfortably at that as well. The return not in time to prevent them that second run. Mandy chasing that one.
Yeah, I said well balanced, but there is no fielder fine leg. There is a sharp backward square, sharp mid wicket, and mid on the onside. Mid off, extra cover, cover point, backward point, deep third, and a deep cover on the off.
So
Dot to end the fifth over.
Yep.
West Indies 18 for 2.
So 5 overs completed, 18 for 2 at the end of the fifth over. And so, of course, we will have a slight change here. Billy Furlong is going to come in and join Shakira.
A good start by USA so far. Slow start for West Indies. Lost the first wicket. Last ball of that first over. Then Nijani Kamabach was run out in the third over. Another change in bowling. Vice Captain Ritu Singh into the attack. Another all spinner.
Change in commentary, change in bowling. Rotation of strike here as well in the commentary box. Good quick call there as the misfield took place. Ramnath has been eager to look for any gaps in the field and to pounce on it with one's quick first run, looking for the second. 19 for 2, last over of the power play. 88 required off of 88 deliveries. It's a very interesting delivery there, just rearing up a bit. Clarkson just dropping her arms.
Yeah, they seem to be aiming for the foot marks outside the left-handers or stump the USA off spinners.
This one hit high up in the air. Mid-on is going back, just plugging in the outfield somewhat, as you can see right there. Just different heights in the grass out there. Inner ring cut a little bit low. There's another 15 yards or so where the grass does look the same height as in the ring, but just after that 45-yard mark or so, since the grass is a bit higher, it has been rain about, hence the plugging in the outfield.
Forces a change in the field. Mid-on now goes back to the boundary along on.
Not for the first time, just a head in the air a little bit there. Clarkson, hopefully she noticed that the field was changed, but she's trying to beat that person out into the deep. Tossing it up high again and getting some spin.
Yeah, she continues to go against the turn, Claxton. Could be better off trying to hit that over mid-off or extra cover.
This one in the air and put down at extra cover. Chance goes a begging. Padiala there, high up to her left, getting both hands to it. And Claxton living dangerously here. She's on 6. End of the over. End of the power play. 2 wickets down for the West Indies team. 21 runs on the board. Have another look at that chance there. See, just pitching in that rough. Just holding up in the wicket there. And getting both hands to it. Really should have held on.
Yeah, threw the shot way too early, Claxton. The ball really gripped and held in the surface. She offered what should have been an easy chance to the fielder extra cover. Put down, and she's given a life. Fortunately for her and West Indies. At this stage, USA were 28 for 3. So slightly ahead of where West Indies is at this point. Albeit they had lost the extra wicket. But this was around the time where we saw the recovery from USA. West Indies will hope that they can mirror that.
Just wondering, Claxton wanted to try and take advantage of that last ball in the power play, go over the top. But there's no need to. There's a lot of batting to come still in this West Indies team.
Certainly Abigail Bryce slated to come next, the Jamaican all-rounder who did not feature with the ball today.
Interestingly, 2 bowlers didn't feature, Bryce as well as Haddad.
Chance for a run out, and she's out. I think she may be short, Claxton, and she is given in the end. So good bit of work by USA once more, resulting in the second run out. West Indies lose a 3rd wicket.
Yeah, not what you wanted from the West Indies team, not what Coach Samuels would have wanted as well. Just pushed into the onside area. I'm not calling, taking off immediately. Some hesitancy from Claxton there, and well short of her ground in the end. Seems as though the call was made early, but a bit hesitant to take off for that single, Claxton. And you have to be very careful. 3rd wicket down, looking for singles in the outfield with fielders in the ring and pushing to the right of right-handed fielders and not quite having the pace to go past them. Look at it there again. Coming around to her left this time. Good throw over the stumps.
Yeah, certainly that hesitancy that you spoke about is the reason that Claxton found herself short. Ramnath took off immediately, but Claxton was never looking for that run caught on the back foot and then had to go. And a good throw by the fielder running around to her left results in a 3rd wicket for USA. So West Indies 21 for 3 after 6.2 brings the new batter Abigail Bryce to the crease.
That was work done by Pagdiala there, running around to her left. Nice pickup, rifling the throw in. Captain Kulan had very little to do, just to pick the bails. And now the total seems to resemble somewhat of the USA team. 3 wickets down now for 21.
Very capable batter Abigail Bryce, strong through the leg side, especially between mid-on and mid-wicket.
It's flirting with a wide one outside of the off stump there. Regila holding her line.
Made handy contributions for her Jamaica side. She was vice captain of that Jamaica side, Abigail Bryce. Made handy contributions in that West Indies under-19 tournament. Ended up with the 4th most runs in that competition, 103 runs, Abigail Bryce. I'm sure she is accustomed to situations like this, albeit this is a step up for her. That one shaping away from the outside half of her bat. Found herself at the crease very early for her Jamaica side. She is one who likes to get home with the scoring. Hits the ball quite firmly. And not afraid to go over the top either. Now though, she'll have to spend some time at the crease and rebuild with her captain.
You'll have to temper her innings somewhat. Get to that drinks break without losing another wicket. Flirting. Good delivery there from Vegala. Maiden wicket there, that over. Excellent over from her. Doing exactly what her captain, or even more than what her captain would have expected. She has 2 overs now. None for 3, and imparting some pressure here on the batting. There's some stats compiled by statistician Rudy Ramesa. Jazara Claxton leading the run scorers from the Leeward Islands with 171 runs in that just completed regional under-19 tournament. Seda James, 118 runs from the captain of the Windward Islands. And third, Samara Ramnath with 113 runs. And Bryce coming in fourth, 103 runs. Captains, all of them. Pushed back along the wicket there. Singh continuing. So a little bit of a rebuilding phase now in these 3 overs to the drinks break. Just want to get that total somewhere close to that 40 to 50 run mark. She is getting a lot of spin, impacting a lot of wrist action, whippy wrist action, getting a lot of spin on this surface. Didn't see ditch much turn with the West Indies off-spin bowlers. Ramnath just taking a second, gathering her thoughts. Flighted, and Ramnath just skips down, pushes as she's been doing, pushing to the fielders and taking off for that single. Enough time she feels that she can make it with the fielders just sitting back somewhat. And Kazi there just going down, long barrier. Ramnath seizing on the opportunity.
Yeah, the surface did look pretty dry before the start of the game, so no surprise that it is turning in the second innings.
Flighted, nicely played back. Played out a point. Looking at the fielders on the onside. Shakira?
Yeah, I was just checking to see how many fielders they had outside of the circle. Remember, the power play is complete, so they are allowed 4 fielders outside of the circle. USA.
This one straight to mid-off. In the breadbasket there. Bryce couldn't hold herself back, driving it on the up, straight to Kazi there at mid-off. And this is not what they would have wanted, losing their 4th wicket now with 22 runs on the board. And Singh picking up her first wicket, flighting it outside the off stump, hanging it in the air. And Bryce is hanging it up to Kazi there. Nice comfortable catch for her, and the 4th wicket goes down.
Yeah, opted to go the aerial route on that occasion, Abigail Bryce. Frustrated that she could not yet get off the mark. But that ball was way too full for her to get under it and get the required amount of elevation over the fielder at mid-off. She ended up picking out that fielder, and she goes without scoring. West Indies in further trouble, 22 for 4.
Another look at it there, just leaning back somewhat, clearing the front leg a bit. She has that ability to go over the top, but the circumstances, the state of the game, 3 wickets down, as well as the state of the pitch, as well Singh getting some spin as well. You might have just wanted to temper the innings somewhat. Not yet getting off the mark. Ramnath 8 from 20 deliveries at the other end. So a bit of a stagnation here from the West Indies. And off the pad, ballooning up into the air. Kolan just comes around. End of the over, 8 overs gone. Wicket falling in that over. Singh picking up her first. It's 4 for 22. The West Indies under-19 team, and a rebuilding job here certainly needed now.
Yeah, good set of overs for this USA side. The last over, 1 run and a wicket. Previous over, wicket maiden. So bowling a partnership, these USA bowlers, exactly what Coach Hilton Moring would have asked of them. Remember, it is a learning phase for all of these players involved and the coaches as well. 2 new coaches for both sides. Robert Samuels named West Indies head coach. Hilton Moring just completing a glorious era in South African cricket. He led South African women to the final. First time South African women ever made a final in a world event. And now he's coach of USA's senior and junior teams. And he'll be pleased with what he's seen so far.
Curious there, Ramna just pulling away. It seems she wasn't ready. Ball was delivered by Imadi. This one full toss. Easy. Put over the head of mid-wicket. Is not going to get to the boundary yet again. And just one run to Ramnath. And a loose delivery there from Imadi. They're coming into the attack. Another off spinner.
And there is head coach Hilton Mooring, South African coach, just joining the USA team after leading South Africa women to semi-finals and then a final.
Just losing the plot here, West Indies.
Another
Changing
chance
bowling
gone to
coming
begging.
on. Yep. Changing the bowling. Leg break coming on and just scooping it up in the air. Brianna Haricharan, the new batter. And a chance put down in the outfield there. Two Trinidad and Tobago batters at the crease now. This one angled down the leg side. It's going to be a wide. But Ramnath there would just want to have a word with Haricharan there. Tell them they need to get to that drinks break without the loss of another wicket. Trying not to get too carried away and trying to push for too many runs, taking any additional risk. Just looked like the wrong one there. Pitched outside the off stump.
"16-year-old Imadi from California.
Now pitch and going even wider this time, giving the umpire no choice. Umpire Williams calling it a wide. Of course, the USA team would have jumped at the opportunity to get Morang after his success and to build on the strength of this American side. But well, just dipping there on Haricharan makes it past the wicket keeper. Just looking to see, came off the pad. Coming off the bat, in fact, the umpire signaling runs or inside edge. The end of the 9 overs gone. 26 for 4. Could have been 5 in that over with a chance going down to cover. We've seen a number of drop catches in this game thus far. 5-match series to take place right here at the Sir Frank Worrell Ground in St. Augustine.
Start of the series obviously delayed due to bad weather. Series was slated to start on Thursday, the 18th, starting 2 days later, giving both teams an opportunity to get in some more practice.
The kind of weather we've had around in the Caribbean here, sure the West Indies team would have welcomed that additional practice. A lot of their sessions for all the islands would have been indoor with that Hurricane Beryl touching down in the Caribbean. So a good opportunity to get some additional practice. Allowed a peel off the back foot, striking the pad there. The new bowler, Chetna Pagdidyala. Say that again. Pagdidyala comes into the attack, left hand, back of the hand, wrist spinner. Have a close look at that bowling action from her. Flighted full toss, worked into the onside. Strong return out from in the deep. The fielders on the onside, not all the way to the boundary, just about 15 yards or so in with that heavy outfield. Does give the chance for the run, nevertheless. Another flighted full toss, in fact, pulled away all along the carpet.
Yeah, those fielders are off the boundary to save 2 runs. The something many coaches at the next level, the highest level, encourage. Ask the batters to try to hit the ball over the heads of the fielders. And what's important is just knowing how far off the boundary you are. So you know how many steps back you need to take should the ball be going over your head.
I'm pitching this one. Using her feet there, Hari Charan. You want to be cognizant of the wind direction as well. If you're not all the way on the boundary. Can be a lot of strong winds around at times. Wide outside the off stump. Cut away a misfield there. It's going to go past cover. They're going to get the chance to come for 2. The runs just ticking over. Welcome runs at 4 for 30 runs now. Into the last over before the drinks break. Another 77 runs required. Off of 62 deliveries.
Yeah, required rate slowly creeping up beyond 7 now.
Better delivery outside the off stump, turning back in. Generous flight from Pagdidyala. End of the over completes the 10 overs, and West Indies are 4 wickets down with just 30 runs on the board. Brianna Haricharan, she's on 9, just coming in, and Samara Ramnath opening the inning. She's on 10 runs from 23 deliveries. And that will be the drinks break. We'll take a break here as well.
Let's welcome you back here to U Respect. The players have been refreshed, and the West Indies, though, are in a spot of bother, as they say. 30 for 4. And they need the skipper to get them out of this hole here. Paggy Deala trying her best to maybe prize out another scalp here. But they've got a single, that one coming off the under edge of the bat, going past the keeper.
Yeah, perhaps looks a bit more daunting than it really is, though.
Number of balls.
They require 76 from 59 deliveries.
Yeah.
6 wickets in hand. So what is key for West Indies is this partnership.
Yeah, can't lose too many more wickets. It's just a pity because some of your big hitters like Cumberbatch and Claxton, you need them now at this stage where they could increase the tempo for you. It's going to be left up to Ramnath to shepherd this team the rest of the way.
Yeah, these two will want to rotate the straight as much as possible.
Almost hit it back to her. That almost carried it. I think it might have just dropped in front of her. You look at it again, it almost carried back to the bowler. She got it on the full, hit it, and just fingertips. In the air, again, just wide, but she is going to get the single.
Living dangerously, these two batters.
To say flirting with danger there. Imandi again. This time she's gone the aerial route, and again the ball is dropped. She got it in her hand. She did all the hard work, got under it, and she just couldn't hold it in. It seemed to just pop out at the last moment. It looked like Fagela down there in the deep, yes. Just got her hands under the ball, but when the elbows hit the ground, it came out. Again, and this time a miss-stumping because the keeper couldn't take it. And she concedes a bye in the process. It's all happening here now. Almost every ball, something dramatic. There she goes. Yes, she was definitely out of the crease, but the keeper never got a hold of the ball.
Yeah, there seems to be lots of nerves on both sides at this stage.
This time she's going over the extra cover region. She's going to get a couple. I don't think it's going to get to the boundary. It's like wedge shot in golf. It just hits and dies and then rolls the rest of the way. Do you play golf at all?
No, I'm terrible at golf.
Welcome to the club.
I was forced to try once for team bonding in South Africa, I think. And I was so bad. No one wanted me on their side.
34 for 4 at the end of 11. And don't worry. But there are some people who are natural at golf. And then there are others who just have to work hard at it. And, you know, to kind of work out their bodies, find out what their bodies are capable of doing on the golf course.
Yeah, I was so poor, I'm not sure any amount of practice would help.
Would help
me,
you. You're just pathetic at it. That's what it is. You know. But no, all of you're like Charles Barkley. I don't think there's anything Charles Barkley could do on a golf course that would look like golf. That's better. She placed it well. She didn't try to overhit this one. And she got the single, Harry Charan.
Both batters opting to use their feet to the deliveries. And it's a good sign. It's what you want to see young batters doing. It's what you want to see batters doing to slow bowling. It's not something you see very often from batters in the Caribbean. It's Ritu Singh back into the attack.
This one is edged and a spin. That little turn took it away from the fielder. She might get a second run. Oh no, they decide against it. Which might have been a good decision because the fielder was, the supporting fielder was actually covering the ground quickly. So the West Indies living dangerously here. They're fighting through a very difficult patch. But they're going to rely on these two to try to dig them out of this hole. We're in over number 12 right now. 37 for 4. That's better. That's so much better. And she actually might get a boundary. It still doesn't have the legs. It did go past the fielder, and they're going to go for the third one. They're going to have to hurry, and all the hesitation in the world, but somehow she made it. Well. She didn't want to come. She turned and said yes, then she stopped, and then they decided to go for it. Luckily, the throw was pulled the bowler Singh a little bit away from the wicket. You see, look at the hesitation there, and then the fielder, Singh had so much ground to make up. By the time she hit the stump, somehow Haricharan had made it home.
Yeah, she perhaps should have thrown it at the stump, Singh. Opted to keep it in her hand.
And that's well played, powerfully struck, but then again a misfield. And you just started to see those little chinks. She dropped the catch earlier, Vajela, and now she coming in with a misfield. So I'm sure the coach is taking notes, and to point out to them. This is all part of the instructional part for them when they sit in their meetings after. And again, trying to get to the pitch, but not to the pitch, and still going through. Luckily, she got enough bat on it. And now the skipper is going to have a word. Oh, they're going to get some refreshments. That's what that is. I think they're going to get a little, but I'm sure when those refreshments come, it comes with instructions. A lot of times. So 39 for 4. Again, like in the middle of the over. Oh, the over is completed. So that's the end of the over, and 42 for 4 at the end of it.
12 overs complete. Bit of a recovery by US Indies.
Yeah, they really need to keep going. 65 more needed, but they have 50 balls in which to get those runs, which is very attainable.
Forgive if the score
Yep.
just seems to be stuck a bit.
So it should be 48 balls from 65 from 48.
We are at the beginning of the 13th over.
And that one, he said she could be out. No, it's just dropping short. And it just seems as if the West Indian batters are insistent on hitting the ball aerially, and maybe testing the catching ability of the USA players. They're really right in their luck here. And that's a good take by Colon, really cutting out what could be easily have been a couple byes. It should be a wide signal.
Yeah, good movement by Colon down the leg side. I must point out that her idol is Alyssa Healy. Anika Colon.
And again, she's going through the line. And they might get a second run if they hurry, but no, she wasn't alert, although the ball didn't go very far. The good thing is that the throw probably would have had to go to the bowler's end because the wicketkeeper was away from the stumps and the stump was already broken. So again, this is the first game. So this game is really the kind of feeling out game. I would imagine the two coaches would be thinking that along those lines. See what the opponents have to offer. Good delivery yet again. And then as you kind of plan now for the next meeting, you have a better idea of what to look for and who to look for.
The unfortunate thing though is that there's not much time between games, just one day between games in fact. So not lots of time to plan and strategize or fix what perhaps would have gone wrong. coaches will have to decide whether they want to practice tomorrow or give the girls a rest as well.
At under 19, do you need a rest?
At any level, you need rest. There's not so much you can fix in
You
one
know,
day anyhow.
Yeah, but I know a lot of these girls would be so happy, at under 19, you have energy to burn, you just want to go. And that's another delivery, touching down and just seaming away from the outside edge.
Yeah, pretty good seam position as well. She does have that ball seam up. And she's still getting it to shape away from the right-handed batters, even though it's almost 13 overs old. Good areas by Vagela.
Yeah, this is where the West Indies have to be so careful now. They really need to rotate the strike a lot more. If you're not hitting boundaries, you don't want to soak up too many dot balls now. You just want to keep the asking rate at a reasonable level. And here getting the fourth delivery in succession just outside that off stump. And a play and a miss. It's the end of the over. 45 for 4 now after 13.
And that rate has climbed up beyond 8 now. West Indies requiring a further 62 runs from 42 deliveries. Yeah, they've got to find a way to rotate the strike. Immediately after the water break, they got around 6 and over for the first 2 overs. But the last 2 overs have been quite miserly for these USA bowlers. He's pulled it all the way back and sank the scoring rate right up. You have to find a way to score at least 6 and over.
Yep.
Get as close as possible to that required rate. And then there's still Kassar to come, who we know can hit boundaries.
So that's the thing. If you can get 6 and over, maybe for the next 3 or 4, and then you say, well, look, guys, we have 3 overs to go, and we need somebody to do some heavy lifting. See what happens. The captain is still there though, and she's gonna really have to get a move on. Now they're gonna look to her more and more. And the difficulty she's having, she's playing good shots, but the fielding is so good that she can't get it in the gaps, so she can't pierce the field as easily as another. This time she's going over the extra cover head. She might get a second if she hurries. She's gonna have to hurry, and she does 2 more.
Yeah, they do running. And that too will be important. You have to push the fielders. Double up whenever given the opportunity. Put pressure on the fielders in the deep.
And that's well played. That could be another single. And remember earlier I was pointing that out to you. The speed at which Ramanath runs. The others are not, I don't think they're used to somebody running that quickly between the wickets. So what might look like a comfortable single to her is, you look at it, just look at that shot there. And she was already turning for a second run. And, Harry Charan hadn't even grounded at the other end. That's well played again. So they need to get on the same page, especially with the running between the wickets, so that they could squeeze as many of these singles as they possibly can, because they're up against a pretty good fielding team.
And just that you know, it is a
uni. And trying to go all the way there. This occasion, Ramnath, luckily for her, it struck her patch. Look at where she was trying to really open up and swinging for the fences there. There is a long on in place and a deep mid wicket also. This time she goes over the top. That's a better shot. That too could run to the boundary, but will it get there? Rolling, and then it dies. So again, what under normal circumstances might have been a boundary, she only gets 2 for it. That completes the over, and at the end of 14, it's 50 for 4.
So the 50 for West Indies coming up after 14 overs. And a well-controlled, lofty drive by Ramnath to end that 14th over. West Indies require a further 57 runs from 36 deliveries. Rate shot up now to 9.5.
Yeah, and that's the daunting thing, because you're making good shots, but you're not getting, value for money, so to speak. And so it makes it could be a little bit disconcerting, because you're playing good shots, but you're not getting your full value, because of the field. And not that the field is bad, it's just that it's heavy, and the ball isn't traveling as freely through it. So either you clear the fence, or you live with singles or twos.
Yeah, the thing about that is that both sides suffered the same fate. We did see a number of shots that we felt would have gone to the boundary on a normal level outfield when USA was batting. They did stop and they had to push for twos. Same thing is happening for West Indies batters. West Indies would have had the opportunity to see that as they were in the field first. And certainly that should have been the discussion in that break between innings, to push hard whenever the ball clears the infield.
Again, driving, the line is so consistent. It's just outside that off stump. She's just plugging away there all the time. Vagela, not giving away too much. If you're good enough, then you come out there and fetch the ball.
Yes, perhaps worth Haricharan changing guard.
She's going to get a couple here if she hurries.
And I say that because she's missed a few deliveries sent down by Vagela outside all stump. So she just wants to give herself an opportunity to get closer to that ball, a better chance of making contact. It is something she will learn as she gets older and more experienced
And that's
in
the
this
thing.
game.
This is an opportunity for them to work out some of those things on their own. Coaches will tell you, but you still have to, put it into practice and kind of figure things out standing on your feet there, out there in the middle.
Yeah, from experience, they tend to stick with you when you figure it out on your own as well.
And this will help her in the other games as they go along, because she knows, look, I could face up to this bowler. This is what I need to do, better. And I suppose when they discuss it in their meetings, all of those points will come up. How you felt facing X or Y, and you could tell your teammates how to better handle that. That's another glorious shot, but once again, can't get it through. So brilliant stroke play, but just a single. The Americans would not mind that at all.
Yeah, good support in the field once again. Fielders backing up their bowlers. They're making it tough going for Ramnath in particular, who's middle a few balls.
And a good educated edge there, and taking the single. They'll take them any way they could get them. And that completes another over here. So 15 overs completed now. And the latest score here at the moment is 52 for 4. So 15 overs completed, or 50.
Yeah, good spell of bowling by Isani Vagela. She's completed her 4 overs, her quota of 4 overs, for just 9 runs. So very miserly. You need to continue from this closing. The wrist spin of Iuni. She does bowl like breaks and wooglies.
You could see Harry Charan growing in confidence. She's starting to understand, how it is to attack the bowlers. And so she's looking a lot more comfortable. Ramnath, in the meantime, probably thinking that she has to get on with things here now. Down the wicket she comes and strokes it beautifully, but again the field is well set. But again, you could see the intention here. She knows that she has to do something here to pull her team around.
Yeah, good captaincy by Colan as well, realizing that West Indies need boundaries. So she sent all 4 fielders back on the boundary. That is the 4 allowed outside of the circle after the power play.
So this is what they needed to be doing probably 2 or 3 overs ago. Try and rotate the strike as much as possible. Almost every ball you want to score off of. And that way you stay in the game for a longer period. And then if you get a boundary or 2, well, then you live with that. So they tack on another one, and 57 for 4. Again, a lot of room there to swing, but not able to get it through. So at the end of the over, 58 for 4 it is at the end of over number 16. So a lot of work for the West Indies to do here. They still need to try to get to that 107. They really have to get a move on here. But more importantly, these two have to really change the whole attitude in terms of their run scoring. They really have to try and punch a few boundaries here. And you could see Ramnath trying her best there, but just losing her shape on that occasion.
Ramnath has improved her strike rate in the last 4 or 5 overs. It's on 25 now of 36 deliveries. She was on 8 after 20 odd deliveries, so there has been a clear intent to increase the run rate, and it certainly has to be increased if West Indies are to get home.
They'll play on a miss down the leg side. They're appealing for a catch at the wicket, but it's not signaled as a wide. And so unless it brushed the pad on the way through, in fact, that might be the umpire's thinking here. It probably did brush the pad on the way through. Because once she wasn't signaling a wide, it had to hit something. This one has got to get through, and that might be the first boundary in a long time for the West Indies. And Harry Charandado to do her confidence a world of good. A misfield as well. You have to say Shazi sliding across, but not able to cut that one off.
And that will certainly relieve some of the tension in the dressing room and out in the middle. It takes some of the pressure off of Ramnath as well. Harry Chan, that boundary there takes her to 22.
Chasing after a wide there. But this is the time here now. She has to try to make contact, and it's difficult to pull those deliveries to the onside, so she has to develop a strategy to how she's going to play through the offside. And this time she holds out there. She goes for 22, and that is 6 there for 5 now.
Yeah, and Harry Chande, after stroking that boundary, they're looking to go again in the same direction. It was a full toss, came off the bottom end of the bat. She wasn't able to get enough of it to go over the head of mid-on in that 25-yard circle. And she has to go for 22. A good innings there from her. She accelerated when she needed to accelerate. Get the West Indies within a fighting chance of this total. And another required run rate here of 3.84 left in this game.
Actually, it's closer to 9 now, the required run rate. It's right up there for them. The current run rate is 3.84. The required run rate is closer to 9 now. And that's a well-judged catch again from Shazi. She missed one a short while ago that went for the boundary. She didn't miss out this time around.
.43 runs required. Yubata Kanika Kasa comes in, the left-hander. Opening bowler. Bowling first change today. West Indies might just be ruining the chances. Those two run-outs there contributing significantly to the situation that they find themselves in now. The captain is still there. She's on 25. The end of the over now, 64 runs, 5 wickets down. Madhavan completing her third over. She now has 2 for 12.
Yes, she has bowled well. She's been very consistent. And coming back to start here, what we anticipate would be a 2-over spell to close out. But she's done very well so far. Vagela, though, with her 4 overs, of course, just 9 runs, is really the pick of the bowlers.
Yeah, she had a maiden there as well in that spell. And it's going to be a bowling change here. Aditi comes back into the attack.
She's going to have to
Ramnath
hurry.
using her feet there, and another chance at a run out there. Kasa responding from the non-strikers in from a quick call. We've seen Ramnath do much of that in the inning, just pushing out to the field at point, taking off for the run. Very close indeed.
Yeah, but she did ground the bat early. She didn't try to dip it in. She actually dragged it in. And
I think that is what saved her there, certainly. But showed good acceleration there to get in and make her ground. Chudasama in her 2 overs, she's gone for 8 runs.
should have all bowled well. And just as I say that, the commentator's curse, she produces a wide.
Inevitably.
Yep. Happens every time. It's bowled, swing and a miss, and she was really trying to go to the to over the long off probably on that occasion, but she missed it, and she goes back. So another breakthrough here for the USA as they tighten their vice grip on this game even more. It's now 66 for 6.
Yeah, just backing away there, Kasa, trying to make room to swing that bat, but a little bit of deviation with the off spin there of Chudasama, and it cannons into the stumps, and Kasa goes for no score. 6 for 65, and very much an uphill task here now for the West Indies. 107 runs to chase down. It's proving to be a worthy total on this surface here at the Sir Frank Worrell ground. So the wind picks up here again. It's going to be Trisha Haddad, makes her way out to the middle. I'm not having a word with her there. Perhaps just trying to tell her just to rotate the stride and get her on until she gets acclimatized to the surface.
I'm sure she's coming with instructions as well from the dressing room as to how to approach things here now. She goes for an almighty swing. It's not taken by the keeper, but again, the running isn't as crisp. They're going to go back for a second run, and she has to hurry, and she makes it in the end. But for a moment there, she was living dangerously as she ran the first run and seemed to relax at the non-striker's end, and already didn't look like she wanted two. And just look at how casual she's running the first one. And Ramnath is already grounded, and then they took off. Luckily, the throw was not a good one. The throw, look at how far the keeper had to go to retrieve it.
Yes, certainly, Coach Samuels, he'll want to have a word about the running in the wickets. Ramnath certainly always runs that first one hard, but Haraja, just looking back as she's making that first run, you have to trust your partner's call, get to your end, ground and turn, and listen for that call if to come back for the second.
Here she goes again, but she could be out. The catch is taken straight down the throat there of Singh at mid-off, deep mid-off, and Singh accepts it gleefully. So Hadat goes for two, and the West Indies lose another.
7 wickets down now, 68 runs on the board. And just have to wonder the strategy there. The fielders are in. The pitch has been a touch slow, a bit too paced as well, and none of the batters seem to have been able to quite time the ball enough to get it over the head of the infield. And another one there just holding up in the wicket, and Haddad going through with the shot and can only spoon it up to Singh at mid-off. And another catch in the inner ring.
Again, the ball pitched up outside the off-stump, so she had to reach for it outside there. She didn't really go across as much as she probably should have. That way she get better swinging room. And but she just got enough bat onto it. It just went up and came down. And a simple catch to Singh at mid-off. So 2 for 12. Madhavan the summer now 2 for 12 as well. And 1 for 10 to Singh.
Yeah, that wicket falling there. At the end of the over, Ramnath now pushes one down. The long on. 69 for 6. For 7 rather.
It's 7 wickets down. Haraj. And that one was beaten leg, but Dean again finding a delivery, cutting back at her.
Erin Dean out there in the middle now. The Barbados under 19 captain, capable with the bat, coming in low down in the order. And this is Madhavan back into the attack. She's bowling the 19th over. So she's going to complete her spell, her 4 overs, her allotment. 2 for 13 so far.
She too has bowled very well.
This one pushed into the other. There was a chance there that they could have taken a single there. But perhaps thinking against it. Pagadiala there in the outfield. She's already run out one of the batters for the West Indies team running around to her left. And Ramnath just deciding not to risk it.
And again, the line is so consistent and giving the batters constant problems. They just can't seem to, because they don't shuffle behind the line, they kind of stay at the side of the ball and play from there. Whereas the trigger movement will take them closer to the off-stump. So that way they'll be closer to the line of the ball. But if you look at Dean, she doesn't really move very much. She stands in a crease and plays. It's the end of the over. 19 gone, 69 for 7.
Eight bowlers used in this US lineup so far, much like the West Indies team. A lot of bowling changes taking place, but we've seen more consistent line and lengths from the bowlers here that put a lot of pressure. So much pressure, in fact, with that line outside the off stump. Not too many short deliveries to put away either, that it impacted 2 runouts, trying to force the issue. And 2 key wickets at that. One, of course, being that of Claxton. Yeah, and this one is, it looks like she's out stumped, chipping down the wicket and missing a flighted delivery there from Chudasama. And the captain goes, Ramnath. Look at it there again, chipping down the wicket, playing and missing outside the off stump, left stranded there. And she eventually falls, opening the batting through almost the entirety of the West Indies innings. She goes for 27, having faced 40 deliveries. The strike rate was improving, but just bogged down a little bit with the fall of those last couple wickets. Eventually losing her own, out stumped.
Yeah, a dismissal that was always on the cards, because one of the ways that we've seen the batters try to get at the bowling was to use their feet to try to get out to the pitch of the deliveries. And to their credit, the bowlers haven't deviated from that much, and they've been able to really lure the batters into error time and again. They're asking a question, not out says the umpire, Selena Ross.
To 3 wickets for 12 runs for Chudasama, now getting a wicket off of her first delivery of the last over of the West Indies innings.
And she's out stumped. That by the back foot might have been up again. And there goes Ross.
A bit of an anticlimax here to this West Indies innings. Just dragging that back leg out of the stump, and appreciable spin there from Chudasama as well. We saw Singh getting a lot of turn earlier. This time Chudasama just beating that outside edge, and that back leg just being dragged out of the crease. And a very simple decision there for umpire Williams at square leg. And the 9th wicket falls now, with the total on 69 runs, and the writing very much on the wall. Been on the wall for a while in the last couple overs, with the West Indies team just struggling to get that rotation of strike and struggling to put the ball away to the boundary. It's been a heavy outfield, a lot of balls played up in the air, plugging in the outfield.
So it's been a swift decline for the Windies in the death overs. Sutherland. She is trying to go. She too plays and misses. And once again, Colon is involved.
Chudasama now has 4 wickets, 2 in the over. 4 for 12 in her final over.
Still trying to get it away, but can't. And that will be that for the Windies as they close on 69 for 9 from their 20 overs. So a big victory for the USA.
That brings the end of the innings, the end of this match there. And chasing 107 on a 2-piece wicket on a heavy outfield somewhat. That 106 runs scored by the US team could well be valued closer to 120 runs.
Yeah, they won by 38 runs, and that's a significant margin in a game where only 106 runs would have been scored. So a fine a fine victory in the end. So 37, they won by 37 runs actually, the USA.
So the highlight of the batting, Samara Ramnath, 27 off of 41 deliveries, falling in the first ball of the last over, and Brianna Haricharan scoring 22 off 33 deliveries. There were just 6 extras in the innings, 4 wides and 2 byes, and the pick of the bowlers in the end there, Chudasama 4 for 8 off of 3 overs. A tight spell by Isani Vigala. She got none for 9 runs off of her 4 overs.
Ritu Singh also bowled well.
And all the bowlers really maintained a tight line and length throughout the innings. And it was increasing pressure for the West Indies batters, losing their wickets along the way.
It'll be interesting to see exactly how they all kind of sprung up here, because with Ritu Singh also bowling well, it meant the pressure, they kept the pressure on the West Indies at both ends, while Chudasama and Madhavan were the principal wicket takers. The West Indian batters never really got on top of the other bowlers, and so there was never a respite for them. They couldn't target anybody because everyone kind of chipped in with some decent spells, and they kept the pressure on at both ends. So that's it, the victory in the books for the USA by 37 runs in the end, and convincing, as one would have to say, Billy, because when you only score 106, you would think that the opponents would be close to 100 or even challenging that 106. The West Indies, though, again, a lot of room for improvement, let's just put it that way. But I think when they look back at this game, they realize that they never really, I suppose they're not familiar with the US bowlers, but they never really got on top of the bowling.
Well, it all makes for a very exciting series here, with the USA going 1 up after the first game there. A very tight-knit outfit in the field. The West Indies will have some work to do to come back here. They had a couple chances that were put down, and they would have been disappointed with those chances because it ended up being too much runs for them to chase in the end. So that will conclude our coverage here at the Sir Frank Worrell ground here in St. Augustine in Trinidad and Tobago. 1-0 up to the USA, and the next time we will see you would be at the toss
on Monday. That's in the next 2 days, so the players will get some rest and relaxation. And of course, we want to thank Ms. Selman, although I think she would probably be going over there to impart a little bit of her knowledge on some of the youngsters, just to encourage them and to keep them in the game, because it's just 1 of 5, so they could easily rebound and turn things around, as we saw the West Indies do in the second test at Trent Bridge. But that's a Monday, so we'll see you then. On behalf of the entire team, we look forward to your company then.